All right, thank you guys for joining me today. So first thing that I want to talk about is like what a lot of the fans also want to know is throughout this NACT, you guys have made a lot of roster changes and a lot of like last minute roster changes, which gives a little bit of unpredictability with your draft. So kind of run us through like what is going on behind the scenes as well as like what comes to mind when you pick a lot of this unconventional picks.
Well, for starters, I think what should be said is a lot of us are busy with our own lives. All of us have jobs. If not, we have school, and then some of us might not have the amount of
Mm.
time needed in order to be able to play um, when it's needed.
So it happens like right before the game though, because I think you guys have had a roster change every single game so far since the NACT, and it's always like Mikasa and Regrets, and then also Chow Pao. So, is it usually like whenever that happens is because someone has like a work affiliation or something like that?
That is exactly what it is. Because we're not even sure when they're available until like or like 30 minutes before the game.
Well, it's what our NA players have to do. Everybody has their live commitment. But you guys made it work. You guys made it work, especially over the past weekend. And Zero being a very versatile player. Like you had your Belmont era, you had your best Fanny of NA. And then a lot of fans actually, when you came into tournament, expected you to play jungle. But Kai is a jungle main, right? And then what is your role in the team right now?
So at the moment, I believe I'm the main mage, but before that, I was just playing Phil for whoever could not make it.
And then you kind of rotated from goal laner, and then this week you're playing mid, and you did a really good job. And what came in mind with that Harley pick and this Esme pick, which we seen on the screen, because you guys picked Esme in this game and you completely demolished the Night Horde, and you picked the Harley and you kind of killed basic last minute, and that was a lot of great plays coming from you.
So for the Harley pick, we like our team before NACT, we were always like more centered around pick-off comps. So playing
Mm.
that Harley, I could play more aggressive in the mid game instead of playing scaling mages and relying on my team late game.
Mm.
As
Mm-hmm.
for the Esme pick this game, I just did not think that they would have enough damage to kill me late game, especially if we have an Angela. So I could literally
Mm-hmm.
just run down their backline.
And you didn't need like a mid laner, like a traditional mid laner who does more of the AoE damage. Esme was really good in this situation because you had Angela, you had a Freya. Esme was the free ulting powerless.
I think we just had a really good front line and a lot of slows this game, so it just worked
Mm-hmm.
out that way.
And let's take a look at this play right here. Because you guys went into a team fight and then something happened, and then Mikasa in the end just killed everybody. Jumped in, powerless ulted. Run us down what happened.
Um, I think what a lot of people underestimate right now is the amount of damage a Freya can output, especially when Freya pops the Inspire. Like as you saw when Mikasa popped the Inspire, that fight right there, Freya, with the fact that Inspire breaks the attack speed cap, she just is
Mm-hmm.
able to dish out so much damage. It's all AoE and it's all affected by lifesteal. So players just can't react fast enough to that. If so, they'll
Mm-hmm.
use a preemptive Wind of Nature, maybe. But even then, we have an Esmeralda that can shred through a wind and still do a lot of
Mm.
damage.
And you guys did, and Mikasa is a godly Freya player, right? And let's take a look at some other, because last weekend not only do you guys pull off all the surprise picks and secure your victory, Powerless actually really pulled through with, especially with a few games on Kufra and Franco. So Powerless, you had some hits and misses. Were you always this good?
Um, I don't want to be overconfident and say I've always been this good, but I've
Mm-hmm.
had an era
Mm-hmm.
back in the day when I would spam Franco a lot and Kufra. Lately, took a break from Rome, came back just for this NECT to Rome as well. So it's just a quick pickup. I mean, we needed to suppress. All of them were banned except for Franco, and I felt better on Franco than anyone else at that game.
And run us through like what happened here. Like, did you plan that hook?
I did. I planned for at least a dash, whether it was the immune from Benedetta or at least the passive dash. It's kind of hard to predict where a Benedetta dashes just because she has a full 360 aim at a dash. But Turtle's being dragged out. She wants to either clear blue or run away, so aim a little bit away for a hook there.
So you said you haven't played Franco for many seasons, but this came through naturally. Like you didn't even plan it, but you just were able to pull that off. Were you and your team also surprised at how well you did in this game?
Yeah, even I was surprised. Even in ranked games, I know I don't perform the greatest with Franco. Even Zero knows my Franco isn't always the greatest, but it popped off here. You can't complain about that.
That Franco prediction hook. He was talking about it for a full 3 minutes after that hook. Just me and him. It was like, there's no way you hit that. There's no way.
It just happened just like that.
And I hope you keep it through because in the voice comms, like there are the first game yesterday against the Bloodhound, you played Carmilla and you kind of died like more death than you should have taken.
More than I ever wanted. Yes.
So what goes on in the team comms when that happens, like in that game? Like what is going on in team comms when these plays happen? Like the ones that you miss, as well as the ones that you completely surprises the audience.
So yeah, go ahead.
So in all honesty, most of the time, I usually come straight to Power, right? So I'm usually telling him what to do and what not to do. Majority of the time, I'm like, bro, that's the thing. Most of the time, when he's on Carmilla, I'm like, yo, bro, they're camping that bush. Don't go. We can't follow up. Don't do it. He's like, okay. He walks into it regardless and dies instantly every single time. And at that point, I kind of gave up.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But why though, Powerless? Why does that happen? Like when Zero tells you these things, do you trust in yourself a lot more than you trust in your team?
I try to put some trust in my team to follow me up if anything happens, but sometimes it's just not possible with the current situation where we're too far underfed. So I kind of overestimated how much we could do as a team when we're so far behind.
It's kind of funny because he blames his spell for the reason as to why he died too.
But he doesn't blame his team, right?
Or no. He does not blame us. He does not blame us.
I take full responsibility for a misplay that I do.
Yeah, I blame him.
Yep.
I mean, we'll find out in the voice comms. And
you'll see. You'll see.
Down now, Powerless and Zero, you guys have 2 weeks until the next series come, and you're in a good position because we talked about in the last recap like how many points you need to get in order to make a comeback, and then for the bottom teams after around stage 1, you needed to get at least a top 3 play, and then you guys made it. You guys were the only team that made it through and got the top 3 finish in stage 1, in stage 2. So moving to the next round, a lot of our fans have been watching you guys since 2020, and I've actually put a lot of hopes in you guys too. So moving to next stage, are there any like changes that you guys are deciding to make to secure that top 3 finish, or how confident you are?
I'm pretty confident that we can get the top 3 again.
I too am confident with how it's going right now to get top 3.
I think we just need a little more time to figure out a game plan and draft. Because in all honesty, this week we only kind of planned for Avalon, and we were like, yo, we're not going to be able to play the rest of the games. We're too tired for this. We don't know what to do. So we kind of just went along with it. We really only planned for winning against Avaternal.
And that's all you needed though. This week, that was
our goal.
But next week is going to be different, like when coming to stage 3. And are there any like roster changes right now that's happening, or is it still going to be the same as what it is now?
So at the moment, we're planning to make roster changes, but they will not be
Mhm.
effective until actual like LA if we make it.
That makes
So we're
sense.
probably gonna keep
And
things as is right now.
so would it be fair for Zero to say that you need to get Powerless factor in as well for your smooth sailing the next series?
I mean, I consider myself a wild card. Like I hit
You are.
50-50.
Me,
I'm 50-50. I
me
either make a
personally,
really good play or I do awful. It's one of those two. There's no in between.
me personally, if he played like how he played versus BTK
Mhm.
yesterday, I want a different
Mm.
tank. I want a different run.
But
Can't
I
blame
mean,
you.
Powerless, he's gonna pull through. There's the Kufra play and the Franco. That's something that not every tank can do. Like that's something that sets him apart. But we all know like what Powerless can do, and we all know you're a wild card. Like you've proven us wrong with your Hanabi last season. And I mean, what is the hero that you would want to play if you can just choose whatever it is?
Oh my
Powerless. Like
god.
what?
Right now,
Mhm.
I've always liked Kufra. I've played a
Mhm.
lot Kufra back then. I do a really mind-boggling build for like my first ever 700 games of Kufra. I would build Blade of Despair with
Mhm.
him, and it worked. I mean,
Blade
I've
of
been
Despair.
Blade of Despair. Yes, indeed. It worked out for me. I mean, for me personally, it's fun. I like to
Mhm.
have fun. It's a game. Um, and then recently, just for fun as well, I've been playing Bane, but obviously I'm not gonna get a chance to play Bane in this NACT. But I think just knocking out Kufra and just getting better on it might be my only goal right now.
And I'm sure you're gonna make it. And to end things on a swift note, let's take a look at that play where you guys dived in and then regrets kind of saved the game.
All right. So from my perspective, I see Lances alone, and the enemy team is still mid. So they're still halfway rotating, but they can't fully rotate in time. So we're just trying to see if we can either poke Myth down or pick him off right here. And so we just dogpile on him.
You made the shot call there to go in.
I kind of did, and then at the moment, Zero did call us to back off. But Regrets, even though Zero did call for us to back out, Regrets still goes in and he wipes the floor with Night Horde, which honestly surprised us because we went into that fight thinking that we were gonna lose since we just dogpiled on Myth. We used a lot on Myth and we couldn't kill him still. But then
Yeah, we kinda
we
gambled
just
that
didn't
fight.
factor in Regrets until the very end of the fight when he just goes in and ults. So Regrets pulled us out of that one.
So Regrets saved you because Zero on the voice comms was like, "No, don't go in. They're gonna kill you." But you guys still did, and then Zero had to come in, right? Did Zero come in there?
Oh yeah, no, I had to. When I saw Regress went in, I had to follow up. There's no choice.
And you guys made your word. So, you know, these are the moments that are golden. And that's a team spirit. That's a team spirit you guys are building. And all the good luck to you guys come in the regular season stage 3.